Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval.
Yes.
Councilmember Valenzuela.
Yes.
Mayor Craig.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay, thank you. All right, on to ID 670, the Boronda Road Congestion Relief Project. Councilmember Barrera, you pulled this item.
Thank you. I just want to make a comment. We did receive a few emails regarding the safety of whether it's children, people crossing that corridor. It's very unsafe, so there's a lot of concerns from some of the people. I would like to see if it's possible to respond to these individuals that have taken the time to email, because those are concerns. They're wondering what's the safety measures for children or even anyone that's going to cross the street, because it's a super busy intersection. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll go on to Councilmember Osornio. You also pulled this item?
Yeah, I just wanted to piggyback on those comments. There's also been several folks that have reached out to me about the concerns about making sure that these roundabouts are safe. They compared it to some roundabouts that have been constructed in other parts of the region, and just really wanting to make sure that these are done that have appropriate signage. And I guess very clear with lines and safety features. So I just wanted to be on the record saying that with my colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Sandoval, you also pulled this item?
Yes. Yeah, David, could you address some of the concerns that we've received from residents? I know, with the traffic continuously moving, there's concerns that will be unsafe for kids. There's also been concerns about the safety precautions or the safety measures that'll be installed for that. Could you speak to that, please?
Yes. So there has been studies on roundabouts. They tend to be safer, mainly because the speed through the roundabouts is slower. You have to slow down to go into them. So accidents between vehicles and pedestrians that are a slower speed. Also, when a pedestrian enters a roundabout, he only has to pay attention to one direction. He doesn't have to worry about both directions because there's a landing zone as you move through the roundabout. So you cross one section and you can look the other direction and cross that section. Also, the crossing distance is a lot shorter in a roundabout than a regular intersection. And then also this particular roundabout, during construction, we have an outreach coordinator that's doing outreach with the school and meeting on a regular basis in terms of, as the phases go through, how they're looking to make sure that the children cross safely during construction. And after construction, we're also putting flashing beacons up at the crosswalk so that drivers know that there's a pedestrian coming into the crosswalk.
Can you talk about a little bit about are those specs available that we could share with residents? Or is that something that's in the design phase, or what are we?
Yeah, it's completely designed, and we out to bid. And for example, no one's going to be able to see this, but this is what's being installed in there, and I can easily send that to council members to show them this is what's being installed. It's similar to what's out here on Alisal for the county workers that are crossing the street.
Okay, great. And then you had mentioned there was going to be an outreach consultant. Is that information you could share with the public now, who that will be or who the contact will be, or how will we get that information?
Yeah, we have a consultant on board that's doing public outreach. Sophie's in contact with them to make sure that city is involved in that outreach and that we're doing appropriate amount of outreach for those. And again, we can include you on anything that goes out so that you're aware that we are doing it.
Yeah, thank you. I'd appreciate participating in those community meetings as well, or whatever I can do to support that. There was some seniors who reached out about, this might be their first experience with roundabouts. So is there a tutorial or 3D rendition, or what can we do to help educate? Because this is something new for a lot of people.
Well, again, we do have 3 in the city of Salinas right now. We have the one on Alisal. We have the Barden Road has a dual roundabouts there. So there's opportunities to actually drive them and be familiar with them. But it is a learning process. And again, as you enter the roundabout, it is a very slow process to get through it. Probably when it first opens up, The traffic's going to be backed up because people are hesitant about moving through. But as they get to learn it, they'll start flowing a little bit better. But there is always a learning curve with new construction like that.
All right, and my last request or question is, you know, it's right, I mean, that intersection is literally, the only people who are gonna cross it are students and parents getting kids to school. So I know a long time ago, the city used to fund, they used to have cross guards, and I know the responsibility is now the schools for cross guards, but I guess there's some kind of confusion about what they're able to do as far as off-campus. So maybe a discussion with the school district about that. I just want to make sure that those students are safe. So I'm sure that'll come forward in the future discussions, right?
Yep. As we meet with the school, they'll bring their concerns through to us, and we'll work through it as it comes up. But again, we do want to be on the safe side on that project when it does open up.
All right, thanks. If you could just share the renditions of the safety precautions, that way I could share those with those folks. Thank you very much.
Okay, Councilmember Rocha, you also pulled this item.
And I have no questions, David. I just have comments. But I just want to take a moment to, tying the comment to this item as it relates to the safety of students on Boronda Road. Prior to our prior city manager leaving, we did have a education outreach subcommittee. And one of the things that we were discussing at the time was some sort of a cost-sharing program with school districts for the crossing guards. So that way, they wouldn't necessarily be employees of the city, rather employees of the district, but the city could contribute some way or another towards funding those positions. So just something to put on the city manager's radar about for the potential for this. I also want to take a moment to thank this city council and our city staff for all of your work on this. It was not an easy feat to get to where we're at now. We started this project, it's been many, many years in the making, you know, but really when I got on the city council in 2020, at the time there was $12 million set aside for this project. And I remember at the time when we had the discussion about the spendable fund balance, the then city manager, Steve Kerrigan, and I were talking about ways to make this project a reality, and the city council approved an increase of $5 million towards this project, which really allowed us to move forward a lot quicker, and then most recently approved another $5 million for it. So this has been really a project this council and our staff and our two city managers have taken very seriously to get to where we're at now, and we're already starting on the project. But just something to bring up to the members that will continue to be on this council moving forward is we do not have funding for the second and third phase of the project. So something to keep in mind, top priorities for the city moving forward to make sure that this project is completed entirely. But thank you so much to everyone who played a role in this, and thank you to the council for your support for this. Happy to move the item for approval.
Second?
Okay, motion made by Councilmember Rocha, seconded by Councilmember Sandoval. Call for the vote on 670, please.
Councilmember Barrera,
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez,
Yes.
Councilmember Osornio,
Yes.
Councilmember Rocha,
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval,
Yes.
Councilmember Valenzuela,
Yes.
Mayor Craig.
Yes.
Motion